everybody, welcome back to Royalty Soaps. As you can see, we're in the kitchen today because it's just too blasted cold to be outside. My family's out for the day, going to the homeschool co-op, and Mother has lent me her kitchen, so I'm going to make probably around 5 batches of soap today, and we'll hopefully film all of them. But this first one is Cool Water for Men. Now, of course, I have all my normal goodies in it and stuff, but I want to show you a couple of cool things I'm going to add on top, including the embeds. I used these embeds before in a very early making video of the King Orion soaps. These are crowns, what appears to be somebody's crest, their family crest, and then I will put these on the inside, and then I will put these on top. These are 2 different colors of scrolls. And these embeds are for a different soap, but those are what is going on top of Cool Water today. My lye and oils are roughly at the same temperature, so I'm going to go ahead and pour this in. I've already burped my stick blender, which essentially means patting it around on the bottom so that all the air bubbles come up. I'm going to give this a mix. You might be wondering why it turned that color. It's because of the coconut milk inside. Here are going to be our 2 colors, a dark blue and a light blue. And I'm going to need quite a bit of both of them. But first, we're going to mix up the white base. Alright, the white is mixed. Let's move on to the blues. See those bubbles coming up? That's what burping the stick blender does, so that those will get incorporated. Now I'm going to add my fragrance oil. Alright, now this is where it gets interesting, I think. The bottom is going to be a swirl of blue and white, and I'm going to spoon swirl that just a little bit, and we're just doing a pretty shallow bottom. This isn't very full. This is going to have a couple of mica lines in it. Yes, I know I'm soaping without my gloves. That's bad. Don't do that. My dad took my gloves and used them for one of his projects, so I need to go back down to the shed and get some more. And I will do that for the next project. So please, please, please don't ever soap without gloves on. I do have goggles. I wouldn't be making soap if I didn't have goggles on. That's an absolute necessity. Now I'm just going to kind of swirl this, just like this. Just a light swirl. Now I'm going to wait for my soap to thicken up a little more. You can see it's pretty runny, but I can still go ahead and put my mica line on top. Mica lines are very, very easy to do. If you've never tried one, don't be scared of it. All I'm going to do is take a little strainer, a little mesh strainer like this, and I'm going to take some of my mica. This is Aztec Gold. As you can see, I have quite a lot of it. I use this all the time. It's from TKB Trading. I'm going to put a tiny bit, just like so, and then I'm going to sprinkle it on top until all the soap is covered and I can't really see it. This soap is scented with Cool Water, like I said before. It's going to be a very kingly looking soap. Oops. Kind of defeats the purpose of the strainer if you're just going to dump it out. Okay, now I'm going to blow. And then I'm going to add a little more mica. So whenever you do the mica line, you need to clean up the sides and stuff, or else it'll end up on the edge of your soap. And now I'm going to take this first blue and I'm going to gently pour it on top. You do not want to move the mica line. Now that I have the blue all across the top, I'm going to add the next blue. It's a little thicker than the first one. And on top of this this darker blue, this kind of royal blue, if you will be going the... Now I've placed all of these in, so we're going to add another bit of blue. We want to make sure that these are good and covered, because if they aren't, there'll be air bubbles in them, and that doesn't look very nice at all. So I have to really shake this around to make sure that it's all covered up. It took 1 hour for my piping to be ready. That's the longest I have ever had to wait for piping, and it's still not even completely as thick as I would like it to be. But you know what? I'm not waiting any longer. I have other things I have to do. So, there. That's what I have to say about that. I had to pop it in the freezer, and the freezer was like, nah, we'll just cool off the sides and leave the rest, which has never happened to me before. It's always cooled evenly. Not this time, and so there's little chunks of harder piping than the others. It's really, really frustrating, but oh well. Let's see, that's why it's not coming off, because there's a harder one in there. So the piping is not going to be ultra fabulous today. At least on this soap. Hopefully it will be better on the others. Now I want to leave a nice space between these because I'm really going to be using them as a backing for the little crowns and such, because I don't really want it to be smashed in, because I want you to be able to see the entire crown. So, for example, when I put this in, I'm going to push it against this back here, just like this, so that it's giving it stability, but it's not covering any of the embed. And I'll also add some to the sides. So here's the new look of King Orion. I will be cutting this tomorrow.
I don't need to go in there to have voices be known.
Sure you do.
No.
You'll be louder.
I sure will.
We're back. It's 24 hours later. Normally I cut my soaps 8 hours later, but we saved this one, didn't we, Mother?
I didn't save it. But you know, if you accidentally cut that edge off just a little wrong, that would be okay by me.
Meaning, if you could give me that edge, I would love it.
That's right.
I like this down here. That looks nice. It's turning pink. It
reminds me of Steven going, ooh, and then he punches out the girl's eye. The doll.
Who's
the doll's
Steven?
eye.
Yeah, you have to clarify that.
Nacho Libre. Ew.
That's a lovely noise. Sprinkles flying. Oh, that one looks cool too. That one looks like a mountain.
I have to get over that.
Mama.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I'll help you with the tape.
Look, Caleb's gonna help you. Look at
Did
Caleb.
you hear that voice, y'all? That would be Caleb.
Caleb went away.
There is no table on it.
Y'all know who Caleb is by now. Look at that.
Gorgeous.
Because I put, this is where the melt and pour was.
It does look like a mountain.
Yes, it does. That was not
Did you mean to do
no,
that?
No, it wasn't. Yes, everyone
You're not
knows.
supposed to say no, you say, yes, I totally meant,
Well,
I
they
have
watched
designed it.
Well, they watched me make it, so they know I didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah.
It was just a little piece of awesome.
It is pretty neat how they
This-
each have such individual looks, but
Yes, this is definitely, out of the 3 I made that day, this is definitely my favorite one.
Why?
Of the insides that I made.
why is that?
Because the colors are distinct and the pattern is very unique. Certain swirls are easier to look at and say, oh, that person did a drop swirl, or oh, that person did, nickel swirl. But some of them, when you just plop it in, no one's gonna look at that and go, oh, clearly, I can buy one of those from such and such.
But hey, when you're cutting that, you're not coming all the way to the end, so how do you know where to cut?
Most of the time, because there is a block here that you can buy if you buy a bud cutter, but I just eyeball it because I have to cut in the middle of each one of these. I have to make sure that it's right in the middle, so I just eyeball the middle of it.
Gotcha.
All of them, all of the soaps, if they're any difference when it comes to weight, it's always a 0.3 or less. So it's not that big a difference in size ever.
Oops.
Alright. Here's King Orion.
Real pretty.
Yeah. Thank you, Mother, for joining us. Would thank Caleb if he was somewhere to count.
You're welcome.
And we'll see you guys
Giga
next
Mag.
time.